Hello, my name is Sarah Spar Stubbs, and I'm one of the chaplains at Matthews Glen, and I'm really grateful to spend a moment with you today. About 16 or 17 years ago, my husband said to me, "Hey, we haven't had our eyes checked in a long time. Let's both go get eye exams." And I was like, "That's great. Let's do that." I hadn't really been noticing I was having any eye issues other than it was getting harder to read the phone book at that time. So we both went for our eye exams, and as the doctor sent me through mine and I was answering all the questions and looking at all the things, I thought, I am really doing great at this. And we got to the end of the time and the doctor said, "Yes, ma'am, you're going to need glasses." I was like, "Glasses?" And he said, "Yes, you need glasses." I was debating with him and telling him that I didn't, but apparently there'd been enough changes in my eyes and the time for glasses had come for me because I was having problems with my eyes and with my sight. Some of you may have had vision issues for most of your life. Maybe you've been wearing glasses or contacts for a long time, but they were an adulthood transition for me. So one way we see the world is with these eyes that God gave to us. And in Scripture, we begin to hear about another way of seeing, maybe seeing with our hearts, letting our vision come from other places. Today, we're going to hear a scripture from a letter that Paul wrote to the church of Ephesus. And he wrote to encourage them and to teach them how to be the church. They were going through a difficult time, as a lot of those churches around there were. And he wrote to them to encourage them. And he himself was writing from prison, and because he had been jailed for his faith. And he used his time to provide encouragements to churches. And so he wrote to the church of Ephesus in Ephesians chapter 1. He was in the middle of a prayer for them, and he said this to them in verse 18. "So that with the eyes of your heart enlightened, you may know what is the hope to which you have been called." He didn't talk about these eyes right here. He talked about the eyes of the heart. I really love that image. I wonder what the world would be like if we could see as God sees, with the eyes of our hearts. I wonder how we tune our vision so that we can see with the eyes of the heart, the things that matter most, the places where we are most needed, the places to which God is calling us. I hear a call to spiritual maturity in that with the eyes of our hearts enlightened, we might know what is the hope to which we have been called. Just as Paul wrote to the church of Ephesus, so it is with us. How do we become spiritually mature? How does that happen for us? Well, there's a writer named Carol Tanksley, and she said she felt like the path to spiritual maturity was in building our strength and our courage. Maybe there are times we need to do the hard thing and develop our courage. That we should lead with kindness and generosity, not power and strength. We're going to have to be honest to see our own weaknesses to become spiritually mature. And then we become flexible emotionally. There are times we are called to laugh with those who are laughing, but there are times we are called to weep with those who are weeping. And we have to face our own adversity with some grace. It helps our spiritual maturity. It's not always everyone else's fault. Sometimes it's things that we're working on ourselves. And above all, we need to live with integrity, to be who we say we are, to be the same inside and out. As she was writing about spiritual maturity, Carol said this: "We all have a lot of growing to do. It's only God's grace that makes it possible. If you're not there yet, don't quit. Just determine to allow God to continue to grow you." So we are on this path of spiritual maturity so that the eyes of our heart might be enlightened. We see the world with our eyes, but God invites us to see things maybe more than what we see with our eyes, to see with our hearts. We're not perfect. We're doing the best that we can, but we are moving ahead to the spiritual growth to which we have been called. I'll leave you with part of Paul's prayer, that the eyes of your heart be enlightened so that you may know what is the hope to which he has called you. Friends, that is a word to take us into the day ahead. I'm grateful to have this time with you. You take care, and I will see you again soon.